Hello everyone, I am Jack and I'm back, and let me show you what I'm working on. So there is this software called Pepakura that allows you to take a 3D model and then it creates a flat pattern that allows you to basically make what I would call a paper doll out of whatever the 3D model is. So I went ahead and said, why don't I go ahead and try this and see if it works, how it works, whatever. So problem was that the printing places I talked to couldn't do a full size, actually this is like a 3/4 size car on a single sheet. It was going to take a lot of, the biggest they could print out in cardstock, which is what I would have preferred, would have been 12 by 18, I think it was. And it would take a whole lot of them to do it, and they were rather pricey. So what they did suggest is that I print it on what they use for drafting, which is 3 feet wide and then unlimited length because it's on a roll. So I went ahead and had them do that. The issue may be that the paper is too lightweight to actually do what I want to do. Won't know until I try it. But here's what I've got. There are 3 sheets here. This is the top sheet. And what it did was it took my model and printed it out into flat. Unfortunately, the line weight is unbelievably light. So if you look at this, a couple of things. One is what you see here is the tabs. In other words, you have to have tabs to glue it together when you fold it. So the dotted lines are folding lines, the solid lines are cutting lines. So if you look at this, you can see it has a lot of pieces. Now I picked this to start with because that's the headlight. So I know what this is. So this should be the front fender and headlight of a 1957 Corvette. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it out, glue it together, and see what I end up with. I got several different glues. The first one I'm probably going to try is just plain old Elmer's white glue and see how that works. In hindsight, I wish I would have made the tabs bigger, the gluing tabs bigger, but didn't know. This was, like I said, the first experiment. And then there's a lot of fine lines to cut. If you look, there's my fingers, so that's the scale. So there's a lot of fine lines to cut. So what I'm going to do after I stop this video is go ahead and start cutting and folding and see what I end up with. So this thing is, I think, 13 or 14 feet long, something like that, and 3 feet wide. All right, that's all I got for now. Like, subscribe, hit the alert, hit the thanks if you want to donate. And if you don't like what I'm doing, you don't know Jack. Bye.